She said Angel Reese, by the time she retires, can you pull up this quote? She said, by the time she retires, she will be the MJ.
4 points? That's not a box score. That's a billboard screaming, I wasn't ready. You can't walk into a primetime WNBA showdown, call yourself the next MJ, and leave with a box score that looks like a math error. Saturday night was supposed to be Angel Reese's coronation. Caitlin Clark in street clothes, the national spotlight beaming, the runway clear, the opportunity massive. But instead of stepping up, she stumbled hard, and Twitter didn't miss a beat. By the time the buzzer sounded, Reese's stat line had already been memed, dissected, and engraved in internet history. 4 points? That's it. That's the tweet. Chicago Sky 58, Indiana Fever 93. That's not a game. That's a live streamed implosion. Reese shot 2 of 7, racked up 12 rebounds, which sounds nice until you remember rebounds don't matter when your offense is missing in action. A minus 27 plus minus? That's not basketball. That's performance art. And the worst part? Caitlin Clark didn't even play. She was iced up like a Gatorade commercial, smiling, clapping, and still the most impactful player in the arena. Every time Angel touched the ball, you could feel the tension, like fans were bracing for another missed layup, another turnover, another moment that confirmed what everyone feared. The hype train was off the rails. Even the commentators started talking like damage control agents. Well, she's bringing energy. Energy. We're in a professional league, not a Zumba class. This was supposed to be the statement game. What we got instead was a warning sign in all caps. As the final buzzer echoed, social media lit up like Times Square on New Year's Eve. First came the TikToks, slow motion replays of Angel's missed layups paired with sound effects straight from Looney Tunes. Then came the tweets. Reese with 4 points. MJ would have scored that in a timeout. Hashtag after hashtag trended. Bayou Brick Machine, 4-point princess. Even verified NBA players jumped in. Somebody check if that rim had beef with her. By midnight, Angel wasn't trending as a baller, she was trending as a blooper. And it wasn't just jokes. Polls popped up on ESPN. Is Angel Reese overrated? 78% said yes. When even casual fans start memorizing your stats, and not in a good way, you've become the punchline of the season. Social media didn't just cancel her performance, it buried it in glitter and gifs. And then came the monologue. Stephen A. Smith walked into the studio like he'd been waiting for this meltdown his whole career. 4 points. That's a cry for help, not a stat line, he bellowed. Within hours, his rant became gospel. Clips went viral, debate shows echoed his fury. You can't be Bayou Barbie if your offense is still stuck in the toy aisle, shouted one host. The sports world was feasting. Even Skip Bayless took a shot. At this point, Angel Reese is more socialite than superstar. That one cut deep. By noon, the phrase 4-point era was trending. Not a dynasty, not a comeback, an era of mediocrity. And just when it couldn't get messier, it did. The WNBA dropped a bombshell, an official investigation into fan behavior. Accusations of racist heckling during Reese's on-court clash with Clark sparked national headlines. Important issue? Yes. Terrible timing? Absolutely. The replay looped non-stop on every network. Analysts debated intent, fans screamed bias, and podcasters milked the moment for every controversial click. The outcome? Inconclusive. The fallout inevitable. Now Angel wasn't just the face of underperformance, she was the epicenter of another firestorm. Her Instagram post trying to heal the wounds, flooded with clown emojis, sarcasm, and the brutal truth. The narrative was no longer hers to control. It belonged to the internet, and the internet is merciless. Let's talk about the greatest mismatch of the night. Angel's wardrobe versus her stat line. Pre-game, she strutted through the tunnel like the Met Gala relocated to Indiana. Boots polished, jacket popping, lashes sharp enough to cut glass. That outfit said MVP. The game said otherwise. Coaches tried everything. Shift her to the 5, run sets through the high post, let her ISO on smaller defenders. It didn't matter. She was a walking turnover with mascara. Her shooting, 39%. Turnover rate, higher than gas prices in July. Usage rate, through the roof. And for what? Bricks, fumbles, and fouls. Rebounds? Sure. But unless you're putting them back up, they're just empty calories. Basketball's version of eating celery and calling it dinner. Bayou Barbie became box score Barbie. All aesthetic, no substance. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark sat on the bench like royalty in exile. No points, no minutes. Still the biggest star in the building. Every head turned when she adjusted her ankle brace. Every camera found her grin. Her absence spoke louder than Reese's presence. Commentators didn't just mention her, they eulogized her absence. "Even in street clothes, she moves the needle," said one. "Imagine when she's healthy." Clark's resume? Triple doubles in 10% of her pro games. 3-pointers from the logo. IQ like a NASA satellite. Even hurt, she commands gravity. And Angel? She's chasing ghosts. Her own hype, her own standards, her own collapse. Let's break it down. 20 blocked shots. 21 made field goals. She's getting rejected like spam emails. Shooting under 40% inside 5 feet. 5 feet. That's not basketball. That's bricklaying. Turnover percentage? Bottom tier. Offensive rating? A crime scene. Her advanced stats read like a warning label. Do not rely in clutch moments. And the worst part? It's not just one game. It's a trend. It's a pattern. It's a statistical slow bleed. And the front office? They see it too. You think they're not holding late night Zoom calls whispering trade value? Wake up. At this rate, she's one bad game from being benched for rest, aka damage control. Here's where the story forks. Angel Reese has 3 doors in front of her, and only one leads to salvation. Door 1, redemption. Go full Kobe. Lock in, hire a shooting coach. Develop a mid-range. Fix the footwork. Show up with double-doubles that scream dominance instead of dysfunction. Door 2, reinvention. Become the role player no one saw coming. Defense, rebounds, screens, hustle. The Dennis Rodman archetype, minus the Vegas trips mid-season. It won't win headlines, but it'll earn minutes. Door 3, relocation. Pack up, hop a flight to Turkey, Spain, wherever they'll still buy the Barbie dream. Reset, rebuild. Hope the league forgets this season ever happened. But here's the real stat that matters. Potential has a deadline, and TikTok hype expires faster than discount sushi. This was supposed to be the rivalry that saved the league. Clark versus Reese, skill versus swagger, Hawkeye versus Bayou Barbie. And for a moment, it worked. Ratings climbed, merch sold, highlight reels ran like trailers before a Marvel flick. But now, the league is stuck holding the glittery bag, because when you sell a rivalry, both players have to deliver. One sidelined and still selling out arenas, the others playing and still getting benched in the box score. If Angel keeps posting ghost games, the WNBA has 2 choices. Protect the marketable face, or defend competitive credibility. You can't do both forever. And when Clark comes back dropping logo 3s like she's playing NBA Jam, the contrast will be unbearable. You marketed fireworks. Don't let the crowd see a sparkler in the rain. This is the pivot point, the plot twist, the moment every career reaches where image, performance, and public opinion collide. Angel Reese still has the tools, the platform, the followers, the fan base, but those things don't matter if your stat line keeps looking like a glitch. The internet is watching. The league is watching. Sponsors are watching. This isn't just about 4 points. It's about what comes next. Redemption or reruns of the same disaster. Because here's the truth. In the WNBA, personality might get you in the door, but production keeps you in the building. And right now, Angel Reese is running out of keys. It's not just the talking heads anymore. Retired WNBA greats are chiming in, and it's not pretty. Lisa Leslie said on a podcast that Angel needs to stop chasing cameras and start chasing consistency. Sue Bird retweeted a stat thread comparing Reese's field goal percentage to Shaquille O'Neal's free throws with the caption, "Yikes." Diana Taurasi just laughed when asked if Angel's a franchise player. Laughed. When the Hall of Famers start side-eyeing your game, you know the honeymoon's over. This isn't shade. This is legacy protection. They built this league with blood, sweat, and jumpers. They're not handing it over to runway walks and reaction memes. Here's what no one wants to say. Brands are nervous. Reese inked NIL deals before she even dribbled in the W fast food, fashion, fitness apps, all banking on the Bayou Barbie being both elite and viral. But advertisers don't like volatility, and 4-point nights with headlines like Bust Watch make investors sweat. One exec anonymously told a reporter, "We wanted charisma, not chaos." points. Ouch. And in the boardroom, that matters. If your name starts trending for the wrong reasons, budgets get frozen faster than your jump shot. You think this slump exists in a vacuum? Think again. In the locker room, eyes roll, teammates whisper, vets grit teeth, because basketball is a meritocracy. Hustle matters, chemistry matters, ego doesn't score points. Imagine grinding through practice while the media darling gets 30 minutes to toss bricks. That tension, it festers. That trust, it breaks. And no player, not even the most marketable, is immune to a team that decides it's tired of dragging dead weight. Caitlin Clark isn't just outperforming, she's outclassing, and not just in the box score. She's answering media with poise, engaging with fans, supporting teammates on the bench, dropping triple doubles and mic drop quotes in the same week. Meanwhile, Angel's biggest highlight is a fashion post. One is leading a franchise rebuild, the other is leading the meme circuit, and in every post-game breakdown, every broadcast graphic, every fan forum, the side-by-side grows more brutal. The superstar who's hurt still looks more dangerous than the one who's healthy. That's not a narrative, that's a crisis. Every sport has one. That player who dominated in college went viral for swagger, attitude, and highlights, then fizzled under the pro lights. Right now, Angel's auditioning for that role. Her college tape was electric, blocks, screams, struts, but the W doesn't care what you did against freshmen. This league is cold, unforgiving, and right now, her pro footage is 70% frustration, 20% foul, 10% missed layups. Bayou Barbie? Try bench Barbie if things don't change fast. You can only draw up so many plays before reality hits you in the clipboard. That's what's happening in Chicago. Tyler Marsh looks like a man coaching with one hand tied and the other flipping a coin. At some point, every coach faces that moment. Can I trust her? If the answer's no, minutes vanish. Opportunities dry up. And what started as a slump turns into a spiral because no coach wants to be the one who kept forcing a failed formula. At first, media outlets bent over backward to protect the brand. Articles used words like growing pains and adjustment phase. But patience doesn't sell clicks forever. Now, the gloves are off. Headlines read, Clark claps, Reese collapses. Debate shows no longer pretend it's a rivalry. They call it a rout. And Reese's silence, it's loud. Because in this game, if you don't control the narrative, it controls you. There's a difference between being famous and being respected. Reese has the former, Clark has the latter. And inside the Sky's locker room, that gap matters. Teammates watch who puts in work, who stays after practice, who responds to coaching. If Reese is still playing like she's in a highlight reel instead of a playoff push, that team chemistry snaps. And when chemistry's gone, trust isn't far behind. The WNBA wanted fireworks. What it got was friction. The Clark-Reese drama was supposed to elevate the league, not split it. And now execs are sweating because they've got two faces of the league, and one is facing boos, memes, and a stat line that looks allergic to double digits. Protecting the brand can't come at the cost of the game. If they keep feeding Angel minutes she hasn't earned, they risk credibility. If they bench her, they risk backlash. It's a high wire act with no safety net, and every missed shot makes that rope thinner. When you're the face of hair care brands, sneaker lines, and NIL deals, performance matters. Not just for fans, but for dollars. Sponsors don't speak publicly, but they whisper internally. Is she still worth the campaign? Do we renew? How do we pivot without backlash? Because nothing tanks a marketing budget like endorsing a player who trends more for memes than minutes. The internet crowned her too early, and now she's paying the price. That's the hype tax. You don't get to build a brand off confidence and charisma, then fumble the ball when it's your moment. Clark, she paid her dues in buckets. Reese, she's overdrafted on flash and under-delivering on fundamentals. And when hype comes before hoops, the fall isn't gradual. It's immediate. It started with love. LSU fans, Instagram followers, casual hoop heads, everyone pulled for Angel. But fans have limits. When their timelines are flooded with drip pics, but the box score's empty, the applause dries up, the support mutates. She'll bounce back becomes she's not built for this. It's brutal, it's fast, but it's real because fans love a show, but only if you give them something worth watching. Every great player hits the wall, but greatness finds the exit. Angel's got talent, she's got time. What she doesn't have anymore is margin for error. She can fight, she can flip the script, but she has to want it more than the cameras, more than the brands, more than the clout, because right now the clock's ticking, and the league never waits. You either evolve or you evaporate. evaporate. So, what's it gonna be? You think this slump is just a media thing? Think again. Inside the locker room, vibes shift fast. Teammates notice when the cameras love you more than your game deserves. They notice when your defense slips, but your Instagram story is still sharp. And when minutes get handed out for marketing, not merit, resentment grows. You can't build team chemistry on designer fits and highlight reels that never happen. You build it on grind, on trust. And lately, that trust is fraying. Tyler Marsh didn't sign up to babysit a brand. He signed up to build a contender. But every lineup tweak, every new scheme, it's like trying to light a fire with wet wood. He's tried everything short of burning sage at halftime. Nothing sticks. And at some point, you stop blaming the system and start blaming the player. Coaches don't just want effort, they want evolution. If Angel won't adapt, don't be shocked if she vanishes from the playbook and the payroll. You can already picture it. Slow zooms, somber narration, grainy clips from LSU, and the piano music that means someone wasted potential. Angel Reese, the star that burned too bright too fast. That's the ending if she doesn't flip the scripts fast. Because this league, it doesn't do mercy edits, just cuts, deep ones. So here's the final whistle, the last possession, the closing frame. What does Angel do now? Deliver or disappear? This is the fork in the legacy. Angel Reese has two paths in front of her, one paved with hardwood redemption and one littered with abandoned expectations and expired hype. She can rise, like all greats do, from doubt, from flameouts, from public humiliation, or she can keep dressing for the tunnel and disappearing when the lights hit the court. Because here's the real scoreboard, the one fans and franchises both check. Did you deliver when it mattered, or did you just trend when it didn't? If Angel Reese wants to matter in this league 5 years from now, she needs more than hustle and hashtags. She needs buckets. She needs belief. She needs to become undeniable, not online, but on the floor. Final buzzer's about to sound. What's it gonna be, Angel? A comeback or a cautionary tale?